John D. Rockefeller, Standard Oil, Unstandard Business Practices by Amanda Bembridge. How he became wealthy. John initially ran a struggling oil business in Cleveland, Ohio. At the time, mining and shipping oil were very costly. Kerosene oil was becoming increasingly unpopular across the country because homes were catching on fire and lives were lost. Cornelius Vanderbilt invited John to meet with him to explore any potential for investing into John's oil business. John, eager to make a deal, overpromised himself. They negotiated an agreement together. He is to deliver $165 a barrel, a third less than the market price. In exchange, Vanderbilt demands like 60 barrels a day. Rockefeller could not keep up with production. He was under 30 a day at the time. I got that from Lexus. Meanwhile, kerosene's bad reputation of families dying in fires was making national headlines. To meet a high demand, kerosene producers rushed their products to market, sacrificing safety and consistency. And this led to unstable kerosene entering the market and a growing public distrust of the product. The rise of John D. Rockefeller. In 1863, John Maurice Clark and Sam Adams launched their own oil refining company called Andrews Clark and Company. Samuel Adams, a chemist, helped John streamline kerosene production. Using a more uniform formula and method, they produced a more stable and reliable product. Still, kerosene's bad reputation spread throughout the nation. To change the public perception, John completely rebranded the oil. Standard Oil was born from this effort. As Standard Oil became a household name, John was finally able to meet and exceed his commitments to Vanderbilt. John produced so much oil so quickly that Vanderbilt's trains couldn't keep up. Rockefeller turned to Thomas Scott, another railway titan. And in quotes I have, by 1880, through elimination of competitors, mergers with other firms, and use of favorable railroad rebates, it controlled the refining of 90 to 95% of all oil produced in the United States. From the Encyclopedia Britannica, this was aggressive and controversial, but wildly effective. Less than savory business practices. With strong ties to the most powerful railroad tycoons, Rockefeller quickly began eliminating his competition. In what became known as the Cleveland Massacre, Rockefeller bought out, shut down, or bankrupted 22 of his 26 competitors in just a few months. Railroad barons, Scott and Vanderbilt, eventually went against him. They felt it was Rockefeller's time to pay his dues and united the railroads to end his special shipping rates. Rockefeller sees this as nothing less than an act of war. Standard Oil's freight kept the railroads alive during tough times. Losing this business hits them hard. In retaliation, Rockefeller shuts down his Pittsburgh refinery, leaving massive economic fallout in its wake. Then, with this game-changing move, Rockefeller built the first ever major oil pipeline. This completely bypasses the railroads entirely. With no government regulation and no viable competitors, most companies couldn't keep up, and many couldn't survive without Standard Oil. Labor conditions under Standard Oil. Despite John D. Rockefeller being a ruthless businessman obsessed with efficiency, he was also a deeply religious and intentional leader. Despite his cutthroat tactics, Rockefeller genuinely cared about his employees' well-being. Rockefeller believed in giving his employees praise, rest, and comfort in order to get the best work out of them. He offered long vacations at full pay for weary leaders, but these leaders did not stay away from the business very long because they were so committed to the growth and success of the company. His approach to leadership was ahead of its time. He helped shape early ideas of employee wellness. Because of this, Rockefeller was able to retain a loyal and stable team for Standard Oil, helping it become the powerhouse it was. A standard for giving. In John's later years, after amassing more wealth than anyone else in the country, John D. Rockefeller felt it was time to give back. He became one of the first great philanthropists, not just giving generously, but giving way more than his fiercest formal rivals. According to the Rockefeller Archive Center, he gave a total of $540 million to charitable endeavors, which almost amounts to $16 billion in today's money. From helping reshape public health to creating universities like the University of Chicago, John's contributions to philanthropy are still benefiting us today. As you can see, John was a complex man, yet remains one of the most influential figures in our nation's history. And this is my works cited. I just learned as much as I possibly could off of everything, even though I didn't get a quote from everything in there. I did use all of these sources to learn about this man.